I guess I think we should work on your Latin to English sentences and then do some more practice with forms, because although you know all the forms, I feel like you're getting overwhelmed with trying to recall them, and that's what you really need to be confident on what the forms are, so that you only have to recall, when do I use purpose, when do I use subjunctives? Okay, yes, purpose clauses, indirect commands, indirect questions, all these things that you already have to think about. You're not worrying like, is this or is this not subjunctive? I don't even know.
Yeah.
And that's the idea of this book, is you heavy load at the beginning, and then you just keep learning more and more ways to use these forms. And so theoretically, you should be really solid on the forms, and then just be learning more ways to apply them. But if you're a little bit nervous about the forms still, then it just becomes horrifying. To be frank. I hope nobody is horrified, but let's be realistic.
I'm feeling a little weighed down, but
A little, yes. Yeah.
as a disclaimer.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I wasn't able to get to the Latin to English yesterday. I could only do the exercises this morning. Some stuff came up, so I'm sorry.
Okay. No. So you didn't get to any of them.
No. I just kind of glanced at them today.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I actually made the conscious decision because I felt I was a little bit behind to study instead of doing that. So I'm sorry.
No. Hopefully the studying will pay off, because ideally, what your goal is to be able to sight read Latin, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want to do, is to be able to pick up a book of Latin and read it. And I'm going to give it a shot. Yes. Okay. And then for tomorrow, why don't you just not do exercise 2?
Okay. Just all right.
Check it.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just grab something. Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Rachel, do you want to start us off?
Yes. Full disclosure, I did about half of them. Because a lot of times I feel like I get all the homework done, and then there's no other time to study. It takes me so long to do the homework.
Yes.
And so I'm like, oh, but I have to memorize the vocab, and memorize the forms, and memorize the grammar, and then translate all this. Okay. So
and to be honest, right? If you were in a year-long sequence, right, taking these 2 classes semester by semester, you'd be in about mid-February, right? It would be from August to mid-February is where you'd be now, right? And it's only been 4 weeks, so it's okay.
I feel kind of cool now.
Can I just say, I think it's hilarious that we all at the same exact unit felt that we needed to study and not do the homework. I think it's hilarious. None of us talked about it either, unless Lori and Rachel did. But,
I swear we didn't collude.
None of us colluded, so I think that's pretty funny. It's a sign. I was a little nervous too. I'm I don't want to be the only one. I feel bad. All right, well, good.
Okay. I started 35. This is what I made the executive decision of. If I'm going to translate any others, this one has to wait. So I have about the first sentence. So I have, meanwhile.
I'm sorry, I said 25, not 35.
Oh.
Right, we're starting on 25, right?
What?
Yeah, that's what it says on the thing. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so I guess I looked to the next unit and did.
Oh. 35 through 40.
I actually did
Uh,
35 through 45 was what I thought I had to do because I guess I just changed numbers in my head. Okay,
Okay.
it's a week.
So, so you did some of 35, or you didn't do any of 35?
I did some of 35.
All right. Well, we'll have you start 35, but let's go back to 20. Well, I mean, nobody did any of them, right? Is that what you're talking? Yeah. Right? So we can just do the ones that you picked instead of the ones that I picked. I don't care.
Okay.
That's fine. Well, I'm glad we get to do 35.
Okay.
Does anyone know Pliny?
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
I wrote a paper on this exact letters like a year and a half ago. So, but like it's about like the Christian, about it, like Christians as governor, right?
Yeah, he was governor, and
It's like how to treat Christians, and it's like if they convert, like don't persecute them, but if like they don't convert, persecute them, something like that.
Yeah, didn't he basically write a letter that was like, there's these Christians, and I don't really know what to do with them, and they're kind of doing this, and the only reason he had for executing them was for not worshiping Roman
Yeah,
gods,
yeah,
not
that's-
really to like, not because they were Christian, but because they weren't also, like, they were being such strict monotheists.
yes.
Okay.
And wasn't it also like don't actively look for them, but if someone comes to you, or someone like finds someone out to find someone's a Christian, then you persecute them, but like don't actively go out and look for them, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does anyone know Pliny outside of this context?
I did when I wrote that paper a year and a half ago, but I don't quite remember.
So he wrote a number of letters. His most famous is the letter he wrote. Well, I don't know if it's his most famous letter, but the content is the most famous. He was an eyewitness of the explosion, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. So he writes about, he's sitting on the patio on the top of the house, and they start seeing stuff. And his uncle actually got in a boat and went to save people and died. But anyway, he writes about all of it. It's pretty neat. Anyway, this is Pliny. Okay, so start us off.
Okay, so I had, meanwhile, and I'm not sure if this is right because I got a little tripped up with the in ice qui ad me tamquam. It was a lot of little words. It has been, or meanwhile, it has been reported.
Well, okay. Where's the main verb? What's the structure of the sentence, actually? We have a main clause and what?
The qui would separate the interim in ice from the next sentence.
Yeah, so you have a subordinate, a relative clause, right?
Okay.
Beginning with qui. And where do you try to, if you're trying to figure out where the end of a relative clause is, what do you look for? What normally ends a clause in Latin?
Verb.
A verb. So normally we should find the relative and then find the verb, and those are going to be your markers. Not always,
Okay.
of course, but
Okay.
So, and if I'm telling you this, probably this is the case in this sentence. So where's the relative clause?
So qui ad me tamquam Christiani deferebantur.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then interim in eis hoc egi is the main clause.
Okay. So, meanwhile, here, meanwhile, Iggy is. I have an arrow that says spent time conducted, but I think that goes to.
Well, I'll get it. Egi actus is the verb. And yes, I'll get it means to do, drive, conduct,
Oh, that's
act.
when that means 8 things. So, meanwhile, I hear I conducted.
Yeah, and now you're saying here. Where are you getting here?
The in, and then in the little like thing in the bottom, it says preposition plus ablative here, or in case of.
So here, in the italics means in this instance. It means in the
Okay,
case of.
so in the case of, meanwhile, in the case of that I conducted.
Well, that is singular. These. Yes, in the case of these, hoc egi.
These that I spent time with, or
I don't see where you get I spent time. That I spent time.
so the hoc is this here, okay, and then it's ablative.
And well, it's not hoc.
Okay.
It's hoc. This is the neuter accusative singular.
Okay. So
meanwhile, hoc egi.
While this conducted this.
But what do you see that you're making this the subject?
Okay. So,
egi is first person singular. Meanwhile, egi hoc.
oh, I spent time, or I conducted this.
So it's not spend. I'll go if you have a word for time can mean to spend time.
Okay.
But just by itself, it just means to do, drive,
okay.
Conduct.
So I did this.
I did this.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I did this. And he's going to tell us what he did. I did this in 80s. In the case of those qui.
In the case of those which or who?
Probably whom.
Whom. In the case of those whom.
It's nominative, so you want the nominative pronoun in English. Whom.
Okay.
Those who what? They're the
have
subject.
Been reported to me as Christian.
Good. Meanwhile, I did the following thing. He's going to tell us. In the case of those who were being reported to me as Christians.
Okay.
And why don't you take another sentence?
So, rego avi ipsos an essent Christiani.
Mm-hmm.
So ipsos was the intensifying.
Mm-hmm.
So that is masculine plural accusative.
Good.
Rogali, I'm really not sure of.
An interrogation.
Okay, so I like questioned or
Exactly.
talked to?
Asked.
Okay.
Asked.
Okay. So I asked, and then it's masculine plural. I asked, it's a cute. So I asked
Yeah,
themselves, or just
I
them?
asked the same people, these same people. You know.
Okay. Okay.
I asked them. Yeah. Ana es el Christian.
If they are Christian.
If they were. I asked them if they were
Yes.
Christian.
Okay.
Okay. I asked them if they were Christians. Nathan, you want to pick up?
Yeah. They said. They said.
What do you expect after the verb deco?
They said. I don't know. They said. Well, they said they are Christian.
Yeah. What is that? A form that's indirect.
An indirect. It's an indirect question.
No.
I don't know.
Accusative infinitive. You notice. Indirect.
Oh, indirect object
Indirect statement.
statement. I don't. Yeah.
Accusative subject infinitive verb. They said that they were, since we'll follow the tenses of English. They said that they were Christian.
Oh yeah, indirect. Okay. Yeah. The indirect. Yeah, with the infinitive and the yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I asked you what is the gender number in case of say, what would you tell me?
That would be accusative, singular, or plural.
Plural, and what gender?
Masculine.
Yeah. Now you can. I mean, theoretically, say could be accusative singular.
Yeah.
But you know the subject is
Yeah.
it has to refer back to the subject of dicero, which is plural, and Christianos, which is the complement, is plural. So say has to be plural.
Yeah, because Christianos is
He asked them if they were Christian. They said they were Christian. Okay. Si negavissent, imperavissem ut ei ipsi liberarentur. You take that too.
Sure. Let's see. If I forgot what neg.
Nego.
Yeah.
Negation. Negate. Negative.
Denied.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. They denied, or if they denied.
See.
If isn't that if?
Yeah. You just You're good.
If they denied that they denied that they.
Well, if they denied, comma, imperavissem.
I'm just drawing a blank on this vocab.
Impero, imperare. An imperative. The imperative is the verb as a form for what?
Like a command.
Yes, exactly. Imperos to command.
So if they denied it, then we command that command.
We?
Oh, then I command in order that EPC in order AFC. I'm not sure.
They themselves.
In order that I command in order that they free themselves.
No. It's they themselves is intensive, not a reflexive. That they themselves, and then look at liberrentur. Is that active or passive?
That's passive.
Yeah. So that they themselves
in order that they themselves be free.
Be freed.
Freed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close. Really close. Tell me about conditions.
If this, then this.
And how many conditions are there in Latin?
6.
6. What is this one?
I'm not sure. It seems. What's in the subjunctive? It's
Okay.
one of the. It's either.
Yes, it's in the subjunctive, so it's one of the less real ones.
Yeah. So it's future less vivid.
Why do you say that?
Because it's. I don't know.
All right. What tense of the subjunctive do you have?
Perfect. And
No,
perfect.
Not perfect.
Isn't future.
There's no such thing as a future subjunctive.
I don't the bottom one.
Yes. Okay, it's the bottom one, which means it's the past. Pluperfect. Pluperfect subjunctive. Okay. And when do you use pluperfect subjunctive?
I thought you used then future less vivid.
No, future less vivid is the present subjunctive.
So then it's future more vivid.
Nope, that uses a future indicative.
It's past contrary to fact?
Exactly, past contrary to fact. Okay. And I know it's like, are you picking on me? But it's actually extremely important.
I know.
It's extremely important because what does the future less, the past contrary to fact mean?
If that happens, then if that happened, then this happens.
No, that would be a past general.
So if that happens, if that happened, then I don't know.
Can anyone translate this as a past contrary to fact?
Like, if they would deny, or if they should.
No, that's future less vivid.
If they would have denied.
If they had denied.
Okay.
If they had denied, I what?
Would have commanded.
I would have commanded.
Okay.
And it's very important that we translate it that way. If they had denied, I would have commanded, and not if they denied, I commanded.
Okay. So if
because
they
denied, other way is it's past general, right? If they denied, I commanded. Now, okay. That's more correct, but why is it important actually for a historian to say? What's the difference between a past general and a past contrary to fact? Or
deny.
What?
They didn't deny.
Yeah, if he had used a past general, it would have told us some people said, nope, I'm not Christians, and other people said, yes, I am. But the past contrary to fact means nobody denied it, right? Nobody was like, nope, I'm not a Christian. I'll sacrifice, do whatever. So, Okay, so if they had denied, but nobody did, I would have ordered. Now, if you see the verb to order and then oot or nay, what construction do you think it's going to be?
Definitely wouldn't be if I ordered in order, because that doesn't sound right. I would have ordered, because isn't it usually like in order that?
Yeah,
So-
in order that is a purpose clause. In order
Right.
that. So that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. So
So is it?
What is
it's wasn't it also or?
no, what kind of construction? Oot plus the subjunctive following a verb of commanding. I'm hinting very strongly.
I'm still not getting it. I don't.
Commanding. Command. Or
Indirect command? Is that
an indirect command. Yes, exactly. So I would have ordered that they be freed. And that's the content of his command. He would have ordered, let them go free.
So if they denied it,
If they had
denied it, I would have ordered that they go free, or to let
that they, be freed.
that they be free.
Good. Corey, will you pick it up there?
Yeah. So what's that? Preser. Sorry.
Persevere is
Yeah.
in the glossary. It's to persevere.
Okay, that's what I thought. So let's see. That would be that's a present participle.
Mhm.
Present. So the persevering ones.
Yeah, but remember you should find your main verb.
Okay, yeah. So that would be iusa or iusi.
Usi, right, exactly.
So to command, right? By command.
I not I command, but I commanded.
Yeah. So I commanded
Mhm.
the persevering ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're on to accusative plural. The persevering ones, meaning those who
Had not denied.
insisted that they had not denied that they were Christians. The persevering ones, I
However,
ordered them.
and then tuki ad poenum. Duki, would that be to lead, right? But that would be a perfect.
No, Duxie would be perfect.
Duki, perfect. So Duki is oh, that's just present tense. No, it can't be present tense.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. It's not an. No, it can't be an
Present
infinitive.
stem plus an I.
Present plus an I.
Why can't it be a noun? Why can't it be an infinitive?
I thought infinitives were had like ara or era or some 3-letter construction.
Yeah, those are the present active infinitives.
Okay, so it would be a perfect active infinitive.
That would be Duxise. So
Yeah.
present stem plus an I.
Present stem plus an I. I'm sorry, I'm blanking.
Anyone?
Is it a present or subjunctive? No.
Anyone? Dookie? Present
To-
stem with I plus American. Yeah. What form is that?
Stem plus.
I'm hinting strongly that it's an infinitive. Clearly. What conjugation is this?
Is it
Perfect ending, but
Oh, it's because is it passive present?
Yes, present passive infinitive.
Infinitive,
Why
yeah.
does it look so weird?
Because it's one of those special ones, right? Aren't there like
Because it's the third conjugation, and
Yeah.
ari, eri, i,
Yeah.
are the
because you drop the er, you drop the drop the er,
Oh,
there's no
right.
macron over the.
yeah.
third conjugations.
I know.
Non-I stem their conjugations.
Goodness. Okay.
So that would be.
Well,
You said that was a present active infinitive.
Passive.
present passive.
Okay.
Dukere is active.
So I had ordered them, the persevering ones, however, to be led to punishments, or to punishment.
To punishment. So we ordered them to be executed.
Mhm. Would that be to the punishment?
Yes.
Well, I just said like to punishment, but
It's an idiom, so to punishment or to the punishment is fine either way. If you want to really translate it, you'd have to come up with something better because you're not led to punishment.
so it's like Batman when he says to the Batcave, and they say to the punishment.
Exactly. Can you take a little more?
Yeah. Erdunt, Aleti, Simonis, Ti, Kuros. Alright, so Erdunt. So fuerent is my main verb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that would be they were fleeing, or they were brought.
Fuerunt
Fuerent.
is from fui, which is the third principal part of sumasa fui, futurus.
Oh, okay. So they were.
There were, yes.
They were. That they were saying.
What was it saying?
I'm sorry. Alei.
Alii? Alius?
I thought that was to say.
No, this is an adjective.
Adjective.
Which I'm sure is related to Elias. But that's not going to happen. Alius, Alius, is other.
Okay. So, and there were others. Oh, yeah, that's right. What's it? Quos who? No.
Well, whom?
Oh, whom? Yeah, sorry. So there are others whom.
But there were others similis amentii.
So similar. Amentii.
It's in the glossary, the first word.
Okay. So there were others of with similar. No, I'm sorry. Similar whom were of similar folly.
Well, not. who were of similar folly would be qui erant similis amentiae, but there were others of a similar madness, whom dixi in orbem mittendos.
Oh, I see. Okay, so who had said?
No. Not who had
No.
said. That would be qui dixerunt.
Oh, okay.
Whom?
Who said? Whom said?
Whom dixi. That's not third person plural.
Whom say? Or
What's the person of dixi?
Dixie would be.
Yeah.
I thought that was a perfect
Yeah?
first person. Oh, so I said.
Yes. Whom I said
Whom I said.
mittendos in orbem.
Tendos in the city. Who were sent to the city.
What's the future passive participle have a sense of?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's like a gerund. So who ought to be sent to the city?
Yes, whom I said ought to be sent into the city. Which city is that?
Rome.
Rome, right.
So quies these
And why did
kives.
he? Yes. Why did
Okay,
he
sorry.
execute some and send others to Rome? Well, because quia quies Romani erant.
The citizens. They're. So I see that
Yes.
their citizens
Mhm.
are in Rome. Is that a locative?
No, that would be Romae. This is
Oh.
Romanus aum. It's a 2-1-2 adjective.
Okay, so other Roman citizens.
Because erant
Because
Roman citizens.
they were Roman citizens.
Yes, alright. So some of these people were just provincials and didn't have any citizenship, so you could just execute them. Others were Roman citizens, and you can't do certain things to Roman citizens, right? They can only be executed by in certain ways. You can't crucify a Roman citizen. If you're gonna die, you're gonna die better if you're a Roman citizen.
Get your head chopped off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Let me show you.
So, quid aliud in rebus huius modi facerem. So my main verb is facerem, which is, I want to say imperfect subjunctive because it's the infinitive. Okay, so
You have to say the right thing.
good. I love it when it works out like that.
Yes.
So the imperfect subjunctive, but then okay, so quid, which others may have wanted, or I may have wanted,
Faccio is
do.
not to want.
or may have done. Sorry, or made.
Yeah. So quid aliud facerem. What other thing?
What other thing was I to do?
Yes.
Okay. Then
In rebus huius modi.
that's the fifth declension, like re,
Res.
re ice, and then it's dative or accusative, plural.
Not accusative.
Ablative. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dative or ablative, plural.
And since it's the object of in,
It's ablative.
good.
So in this things that then who, that's genitive of of that way, of that
Huius hic hoc. this.
Hui? Oh, okay. Of this way.
Okay, so can you do that sentence and
So, which
get a little colloquial?
or oh shoot, I which or I may have done. What else?
Good. What else? Quidaliad. What else?
What else was I to do
Mm-hmm.
in this
In rebus huius modi.
so in this thing in these things
In things huius modi.
things what else was I to do in things of this manner? Did I
Yes.
say
Okay.
manner? Okay.
Yeah, manner. Can anyone get us a little bit more colloquial? How would you say things for rebus? I mean, what else? Quidaliad is pretty good. Rebus in things of this manner is a bit strange.
Okay.
Issues, problem.
How about in this sort of situation?
Okay.
In situations of this sort, but in this sort of situation.
So in this situation, okay.
Rebus, I think, situations, but yeah. And then, okay, so this is an independent subjunctive, right? Faceren.
Mhm.
In subjunctive, would it be if I were to ask you? What would you say? I am asking you, so there's no if I were to.
It's the third one. It's the what else was I to do in this situation? The indirect question.
It's not an indirect question. I wondered what I was to do. That would be an indirect question.
Okay.
This is a direct question. Anyone have any ideas? What would you label this? Do you remember the types of independent subjunctives?
Because it's not the first one.
Okay, which is called?
There's two names for it, and
Okay.
just
Think of one.
just
Jussive, okay. It's not jussive. It's not
Yeah.
a command. What else?
it's not the potential.
I think it actually could be potential.
Okay.
What could I have done? What else
Okay.
could I have done in this situation?
No,
but
wait, wouldn't that be deliberative?
Yeah, deliberative is also an option. I think that's how you translated it. What was I to do?
Yeah, what was I to do?
And then it's not the opposite, right? Just a potential deliberative opposite. Okay, good. Magnum periculi civitati atque popolo Romano erat. Easy?
It was a great danger to the state and the population of Rome.
Yeah, the Roman
Roman
citizens.
population.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was one of the easier ones on this.
Okay,
Push it off.
good. Good. Questions about that? So, Rachel, how far did you get?
36, 37, half of 38, sort of 39, sort of 40, sort of 41.
Okay. Corey, you take 36. Are you talking, Corey?
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Hello. Great
Amicus.
suspense.
Yeah, right. Amicus optimus morturus est. So let's see, Optimus morturus est. So a friend,
Mhm.
the best friend.
Mhm.
He is morturus dead.
Yeah, he died. It's a
Okay.
deponent. So
Oh, it's a deponent. Okay. Oh, I
no
see.
wonder I didn't pick this. My best friend died.
Bummer.
Bummer. Cogito
Cogito.
por amico covera. Yeah.
Well, All right, so I think
Mhm.
quo amico. I think
Okay. Now,
okay, so
I'm thinking about, and it doesn't make any sense. What case is quo?
that would be dative or ablative.
It's
I'm
actually
gonna go
only
with ablative.
it's ablative.
What was that?
Cui. Cui is dative.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
So ablative. Okay, quo amico, ablative, quo viro, ablative. And what's caream?
That's accusative. No,
It's a
that's
verb. It's a verb.
oh, it's a verb, so that makes it let's say in no. Hmm. Cardet. Is that a participle?
Mhm.
No.
So what conjugation is it? Do you know this verb?
Is that second or third?
Second. Careo,
Okay,
carere.
and it's to care, right?
To lack.
To lack. Okay. All right. So Cardet. I don't know the. Oh, is that first person, first conjugation? Okay, I'm just not used to
Second conjugation.
or second conjugation. Um, right. I'm usually used to seeing the O. I don't really see the M too often. But okay, so
Yeah.
so
What is the M telling you? We're not.
I lack. Yeah. It's present tense, right?
It's present what?
It's present active indicative.
Active, yes. Present, yes. Indicative, no.
Subjunctive.
Present,
Oh,
active, subjunctive. Right?
okay.
Carreo would be present, active, indicative. For
Yeah, right. It would have a long E and not a short E.
car plus EA is he beat the liar.
Right.
EA. Okay, so we have cogito, and carreo is a verb that takes an ablative. You lack something in the ablative case.
Okay. So I think with no.
So quo amico, quo viro. This is a tricky sentence, which is why I didn't assign it, but whatever. It'll take me a minute. So I think then carream is a subjunctive. we should think, why is it a subjunctive? What kind of construction is this? Does anyone? And we have these two words, quo amico, quo viro. What is the quo telling us? What kind of word is quo?
It's a relative pronoun.
It might be a relative pronoun, but why would a relative
Interrogative.
pronoun introduce subjunctive? Yes, it's an interrogative pronoun also, and we'll actually hear an interrogative adjective. And so if it's an interrogative adjective, kaream is a subjunctive. Why?
Oh,
Interrogative words introduce what?
questions.
Questions. So this is an
Indirect question.
indirect question.
Okay.
And then to translate these ablatives, you're going to pretend that they're accusatives. So your English works out because we don't lack something in the ablative case, we lack it directly.
Okay. So I think
Mhm.
my
Well,
friend.
quo, what sort of, what friend?
Whom?
Yeah, not whom though, that's a relative pronoun. Which?
Oh, which?
What a.
Okay.
What a. I'm thinking, what a friend.
Oh, what a friend. And what a man to lack.
I am lacking. Got it.
Oh, I am lacking.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what a friend, what a man I'm now missing. Okay, that was tricky.
Okay.
Rachel, do you want to take 37? Did you do that one?
Yes.
Okay.
So quaero utrum bruti similem malis an Antonii. So this one, I think I translated. My English is a question, but the Latin is not. So, so I search for. Oh, but the utrum and the an is why I did that.
Yeah.
So I
you don't put
searched.
question marks with indirect questions because the main
Okay.
verb is going to be, unless the main verb is a question.
Okay, so like I search for.
Yeah, quaero even, I'm wondering. I'm trying to find out. I'm wondering.
Okay. If. Brutus. And then I have similar evil.
Yes. Malus. Is not from Malus Aum. It's nothing to do with Malus Aum.
Okay.
It has this irregular verb, malo.
Okay.
That we learned in Unit 11. Yes. Malo.
Irregulars coming back to haunt me.
Yeah. Meaning to prefer. This is the second person singular, present subjunctive.
So to prefer, if you prefer Brutus.
Well, you have to prefer something in the accusative.
So
you're gonna have to supply esse.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out whether you prefer esse similem.
Okay. The similarities?
No.
Or
it's an adjective, not a noun. And I said supplies esse first.
You prefer all essay in my head is translating as like an infinitive, but then
Yes, it is an infinitive.
okay,
Just
if or
esse. Assume esse for future.
prefer to be.
Yes, I'm trying to find out whether you prefer to be similem, bruti, and Antoni.
Similar of Bruti or of Brutus or Anthony.
Antony.
But then
Yeah, but in English you are not similar of people.
you're similar to them.
Yes, although in Latin you are similar of them.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. Let's skip to 42. No. Yeah, let's skip to 42. Nathan?
Okay. We will die without blame, but we will die, but we will have died, or we will.
Yeah. So what conjugation do we have?
Oh, so that's the. So it's a third, or no, it's a third I stem.
Now it's a fourth.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. So mori a more is what tense?
That's present subjunctive passive.
Mori a more is?
I guess not then. This is the subjunctive.
Which one is?
Moriamar.
Nope.
Or more. I don't.
The present subjunctive, think about it. What's the little phrase?
We beat a liar fryer. So
Yeah. It's not fryer. It's friar. Friar. It's an IA, right?
yeah, that's what. Isn't that what you're asking? The second one.
I was saying mori a more.
Oh.
You're talking about mori amor.
Yeah, I thought that's what you're at. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought you were asking. So then it's present indicative. It's present indicative. What?
Which are we talking about?
I don't,
First or second?
I don't know. The first one. I thought you were talking about the first. Okay, so initially I thought you were talking about the second one. Now I thought you were talking about the first
All
one.
right, well, let's talk about the second one.
Okay, so
Let's talk about the second one first.
So then that is subjunctive, right?
Yes, that's a present subjunctive.
Okay, yeah. This is present
Okay,
passive subjunctive.
mori amor. But it's deponent, so.
Oh, no, it's deponent.
Mhm.
Oh. So if it's deponent, then how is there even? Oh no, never mind. So the first one is present, active, indicative.
No. That'd be mori more.
I don't know then. I'm a little lost then.
Think about the fourth conjugation. Present stem plus IE plus an ending.
Future.
Future. Future indicative, exactly.
So we
Oh.
will be without guilt.
Will die.
Sorry, you'll die without guilt. But we might die.
Well, it could be a potential, but we may die.
Okay.
But that seems weird. We will die, but we may die. Huh? Doesn't make any sense. So what else could it be? It's an independent subjunctive, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it'd be. We will.
But look in the group chat. That's the word.
Okay. Queen.
So it's one of those. No. Jussive, potential, deliberative, optative, right? Those are the independent subjunctives. Which is it?
But we might die.
That's potential.
Yeah.
Potential, and we agreed that doesn't make any sense. So we're not going to do that.
I guess optative.
Sure, try that.
But if only we died, and
if only we may die.
Yeah, if only we may die.
Okay, there. Yes. Period.
Yeah.
I'd, she said.
But only. So that's it.
Yeah. Now I think it's really a hortatory subjunctive.
Oh.
Which means, what would that be?
Let us die.
Yes. We will die without fault.
Without guilt. Our fault.
But
let us die.
She said. That's not actually what she said. She said, Moriemur inultae sed moriamur. This is what Dido said right before she kills herself. In the Aeneid, she says, this is a royal we. So I will die unavenged, but let me die. Okay. Unavenged at Aeneas for using me. Okay. It's a good line. I mean, yeah. If you want drama, high drama. Read Dido. It's great. Okay. We could keep doing this, but I was thinking it might be good to just do some formation of verb forms. What do you think?
I'm in.
Formation of what?
Verbs. Verb formation.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Give me 2 seconds. There's a form that I have as a Word document. Let's see if it will transfer itself to a Google Doc, because that would be great. Mostly. Alright. I'll just have to play a little with the formatting, but sorry, it's trying to connect. In the meantime, you should read Dorothy Sayers' speech. The greatest single defect of my own Latin education. Not necessarily because I agree with her about the greatest single defect. I mean, probably do to some degree. But she has an amazing description of learning Latin. Her father started teaching her when she was 7, so she learned it all. And she's got some great phrases like,
Who is this?
Dorothy Sayers.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said Dorothy Day for a second.
Yeah, me too.
No,
That's what I
no.
thought. Oh,
Sorry, maybe I did.
I would have
but
never
didn't
known.
mean to. She says, with the third declension, the high and austere order of imperial Rome seemed to lose grip a little. Irregularities set in. There were nouns like rex and moose and caput, whose nominatives seemed to have lost their roots, and there was a tiresome difference of opinion between noun and adjective about the correct terminations of the ablative singular. On the whole, however, the lack of symmetry was atoned for by a certain whimsicality in coloratura. The fourth and fifth declensions remained rather exotic. One never got sufficient opportunity for using those fascinating terminations in ubus, and erum. On the other hand, there was always the perilous but exciting adventure of the double-barreled declensions of res publica, and later on, jus iurandum, where, alas, pride in the two-handed engine nearly always betrayed one into saying iuram iurandum and being scolded for not thinking. You would not think because jus is neuter, and so you don't make it. Operate. It should be shared with you now. I do not know what message is here. Okay. Well, they're slightly off. That's fine. So this is what's called a synopsis. It's when you've learned enough verb forms that trying to write them all out will be laborious and far too time-consuming. So instead, you can do a synopsis, which means you just choose one person and one number and do all the forms only of that person and number. So let us take the third person plural and fill this in together. And I suppose I could assign you them, but I think why don't we all just start thinking and start filling them in, and if someone fills it in before you, move on to the next one. And you want to start with the infinitives or the imperatives, because you don't want other people on your turf to do that too.
Okay.
And the imperatives, of course, what number are the imperatives? People were a little confused about this on the test.
You say that again? Sorry.
What person are all our imperatives in Latin?
All imperatives are...
Second.
Yeah, second. Yeah.
Only second, right?
Yeah, I thought it was second
You're
and
always
third for
addressing-
some reason, but I saw it was second,
Nope.
so.
Just second. Yep. Yeah. Okay. But so you'll have to do the second person for the
Okay.
imperatives, and I have two boxes so you can do both the active and the words singular and plural. Okay, so we're doing oh. Somehow we are. We have a few more forms in the passive, indicative, and then the infinitives. Two more infinitives. Alright, yeah. Anything that doesn't really matter. That's fine. Okay, alright. Now, would you all go through and look at all the forms and put in bold any ones that you think are wrong, or at least a few that are wrong? Nope, I'm not finding anything.
Like, yeah.
Compare some of the active and passive forms. See if they're using the same patterns.
Oh, wait. I don't know.
You can't find any?
I think that one.
Yep.
Because I think I put the imperfect active subjunctive, but what I put there should be the imperfect passive. The infinitive. Or like the infinitive plus the ending should be the imperfect.
Oh, you're down in the subjunctive, I thought.
Yes.
Sorry, I was not the indicative.
Okay.
Oh, I think you saw what I did.
Yes, okay. Yes, so you had decantor, but that you need decanter.
Yeah.
Also the present, like, decanter, it says, but we want decanter. And just this present passive. The vowel change to an E. Probably.
Okay.
Okay, so down on the subjunctive, if everyone looks together. Yeah, so the imperfect is dequerent, imperfect active subjunctive, dequere, infinitive plus nt. So then the imperfect passive is dequerentur, dequerentur. Okay. Otherwise, the subjunctive is good. Decant, decantur, dequerent, dequerentur, dixerent, dictiscent, dixicent, dictiescent. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Then going up to the indicative. Look at the present. We have decant and then decuntur. Something is wonky. And then if we look at the future, we see decabunt, but decentur. We're using two different patterns. If decentur is a future passive, which it is, in fact, that's right, then the future active should be what?
Well, there should be macron over the E.
No,
No?
no. It's third conjugation, so what doesn't it do? If it's not using buntur in the passive, it can't use bunt
Oh,
in
it's
the
just
active.
using, it's just ENT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so decant
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
future. Which
And then
means
there's no.
decant can't possibly be the present, because then they would be
It's
indistinguishable.
decant. An A.
Nope, decant is the present.
No, with an I.
Subjunctive.
That's with an I.
Decant doesn't
Decant.
exist.
Oh.
That
Oh,
short
decunt.
vowel,
Decunt.
decunt.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's the all of them but the first person singular
Oh.
and third person plural are I's. Correct?
Yes.
And the present, and then the third plural is a U in the first
Yeah, the third plural is a U, and then
singular.
the singular is an A, and the other four are I's.
In the present indicative, it's an O. Deco. Deco, dicus, dicit. Decimus, dicitis.
Oh yeah, it's no. The A's in A's in future. The A for future for first person. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, we have DK bond as in bold, but looks great to me.
Well, shouldn't it be a macron?
Yes,
Really?
yes. Almost great. Dixerunt, good. Dictus sunt, we just need it to be what?
Dictee.
Dictee. Yeah, we need that word. And dixerant, dictierant, yes.
You just need the
Dixerent,
macrons over the I's.
dictierunt. Yes. Good. Is everyone, oops, this one. Is everyone good on the indicative?
Quick question about why you put the I's, like dictee.
Because this verb, the subject is third person plural, so the subject is plural. So the participle form has to also be plural to agree in
Oh,
gender
okay.
in the case of the subject.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense.
Or said to blah blah
Mhm.
blah. And they are turned. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the participles? How do those look?
Really quickly, why is the present active indicative? Why is that UNT?
Because so the vowel of the third conjugation is a short e,
Right.
but it's so weak that in the present it becomes an I most of the time, and then before NT becomes a U.
Okay.
So the first conjugation is o, as, at, amus, atis, ont. Second is eo, ace, et, amus, atis, ent. The third is o, is, it, imus, itis, unt. It's just a really weak vowel that you have to memorize. It
Okay.
morphs into these various vowels. Okay. What do you think? It's good? No one wants to say.
Which ones? Sorry.
The participles?
Yeah, those look good to me.
Those look good. Those are good. I don't
Yeah.
know why dicturum is neuter when master masculine, but it's fine. That's
Okay.
And the infinitives are all good except for one.
Is it the passive perfect?
No, that's fine.
Is it the
can
active
say-
future?
There's no future infinitive, so no.
Maybe I'm guessing the perfect active.
Yes. Is that wrong?
So, do the perfect actives have endings that come after them?
No.
Is that why? No?
Infinitives never have endings. No, it's really close.
Oh,
It's really close.
The I should be
Yeah.
okay. Macron.
No.
perfect
No.
stem.
Perfect stem.
Perfect stem.
Yeah. We use the present stem with it, but we need a perfect stem. So we did C second.
Oh. Okay.
Imperatives, I looked once and they were mostly good, and now they've all been changed around. So here we want our present, our active second person singular, our singular active imperative, meaning say. What would that be? What is dikite? That's an imperative, but it's not singular. What is dikite?
It's plural, right?
Plural. Yeah. So we need to move dikite down here.
Wait.
The plural. Okay. Then what goes up here?
Just dicere.
Nope. Where does dicere go? A form that looked like an infinitive. What is
Oh,
that?
present passive.
Present singular past.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then where does dicimini go?
At the plural passive, yeah.
Yep. And then what's the singular active?
DK.
Okay. It should be DK. It's actually an irregular one, so it's
Oh, it's
DK.
just Deke. Yeah.
But that's if you that should be another. Okay. Do you feel like now you understand maybe where you need to work a little more?
Work a little more. Yeah.
I'm gonna like
I'm
print
not
out
like-
a bunch
I'm
of
not-
synopsis sheets.
Say that again.
I said I'm just gonna print out a bunch of like synopsis sheets and just
Yeah.
do them over and over again. That's a good idea. I wonder if I didn't think of it. Of like just go through and do it all like one time in like one type of person and number.
Well, we've been teaching Latin for 2,000 years, so we've gotten good at it. We have a few tricks up our sleeves.
It's just. I think it's just when you're like, you need to work more. I'm like, there's no possible way I could study more in the day. I know what you meant, but I'm just
Targeted.
Yeah, yeah.
Work. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, let's take a break, and then we'll assess how you're doing, because we do have one more unit, but if we want to put half of it off till tomorrow, I'm okay with that. So we'll take a break and come back at 11:15, and you'll tell me how you feel.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question.
Mhm.
So I found this app
Okay.
called Liberation Philology Latin. And
Okay. Liberation.
yeah, I'm not really sure why it's called that because it's just like a Latin app, but it
Okay.
has like different levels and you can do vocab, nouns,
Mhm.
adjectives, and pronouns. And when you do adjectives and pronouns, it like gives you a declined one, and then you have to choose like the case and number and gender. And then it has verbs, and you can pick the level of like how many, like which tenses or just all of the tenses. And then also participles. And it's just like a little like it quizzes you. But I was just going to throw that out there because like if you do verbs and then you can do like all verbs, all forms, or like specific verbs and specific forms, or yeah, specific verbs and specific forms. And it like quizzes you on tenses. Fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to pay for it. So like I Googled a bunch and then I was like, okay, totally worth $4.
What's it called?
So Liberation Philology Latin.
This guy
It's
must know a lot because he has liberation philology, Welsh, Dutch, Greek, Sanskrit,
Yeah, I think it's like a
Italian.
company that does it for like pretty much most
Sardinian?
languages.
What is even Sardinian? No. Old Occitan, in case you need to practice your Old Occitan. Friulian? I didn't even know Friulian was a language. Oh my goodness. Sorry. That's interesting. That looks like a good app. I mean, I've never used it, so I can't endorse it. So yes.
Yeah. I've had it for a week. I like it.
Good. And if they're doing Old Occitan, Occitan, I don't even know how to say that in English. Probably they know, their stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna tell me how you felt.
What?
That's how I feel. No. I feel like most of the studying that I have to do is just like memorizing. Yeah, which is I guess hard to do in a group context.
Yeah.
I think for me, like being able to identify what the construction is, I need to get better at that. I need to like recognizing, like Rachel was saying, like the qualities that make it that construction.
Yeah. Okay. But meaning, I feel I know where there are shaky bits, but we can finish do Unit 13 and then take a day and a half for review. Or if we do Unit 13 right now, I will start crying. So we need to stop review.
I like the Unit 3rd. So would the test be the first part be on Tuesday and the second part be on Wednesday, or?
As it's scheduled here, the first part would be on Monday, and the second part would be on Tuesday.
Then yeah, we should just do. I mean, I'm not on figuring, but then we should just do 13, get that out of the way, and then just like do a review and.
Yeah, it's more days for it to soak, I guess.
We have more days for it to soak in, so then it's like all there, and then we can just like focus on
Okay. If we need to, we could push back the test a day. We'd have a little less review for the final exam, but let's keep that in our minds. We can do that.
Yeah, I'll think about it. We should. So yeah.
Okay, so then, and we're not going to get to do the reading in this minute, but remind me if we have an extra moment when we're reviewing to come back and do the reading from Unit F, because there's a poem that we would really love to read. don't know if you would love to read it. It's good to read.
Okay.
I think you would like it because you'll find the origin of a famous Latin phrase that we use a lot in English. Google Drive. So, what do you say for your quiz tomorrow? You do a synopsis.
Some what?
Quiz tomorrow. Do a synopsis.
Synopsis, got it.
Just please don't make it a crazy irregular verb.
Okay. I won't. Let's say, let's say it'll either be third or fourth.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I would like to study more because the first and second are a lot easier because just the the B's.
Yep. I know.
Yeah.
That's why I said that.
I know that's what you said. I was recognizing why I was confirming or recognizing. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my computer not being responsive. 509. Unit 13. Still thinking. You can all see it thinking? Yes.
Mhm.
All right, so a few more forms, some more indefinite pronouns. I'll talk a little bit about one concept, which is making an intransitive verb passive, and then one numerical adjective, which is just the word for two, and I'm not really going to talk about it. You should only just glance over the chart and see the forms of two, the word two, duo. That's indefinite pronouns. Okay. So you see this aliquis is an indefinite pronoun. It means someone, something, anyone, anything. It can also be used as an adjective. It means some, aliquius feminae, of some woman, or of any woman. What does it look like?
Quiz. It looks like what's it called? Pronoun.
Relative pronoun.
Yeah, the relative pronoun.
Close, but the quis, since it starts off with quis,
Yeah.
the interrogative pronoun, right? Quis means who? As a question. Quis, when? Who's coming? Who's coming? So yes, this is just the interrogative pronoun plus ali, A-L-I, tacked on the front. So you need to remember what it means, but you don't really need to learn any more forms, right? Aliquis meaning what?
Someone.
Someone. Good. Then you can also see this form without the without ali, and it means the same thing. And it shows up after si, nisi, num, and ne. Right. So aliquis, use aliquis to mean someone unless it's preceded by si, if, nisi, unless, num, and ne. And the phrases after si, nisi, num, and ne, all the alis drop away. Okay, that's how you remember them.
Wait. Okay.
If you look on page 217, they actually wrote it out for you.
Okay.
But they have it. So after si, nisi, num, and ne, all the alis drop away.
Oh, that's cute.
There are many cute little Latin rhymes. You learn all sorts of things. Then quisquam means also someone or something. The difference is it is used mainly in sentences which are negative. But do I expect you to remember that? No. Right? Just remember that quisquam means anyone. And if it's in a negative sentence, you will see quisquam instead of aliquis, but you do not need to know why. You just need to know what it means. Right, so quisquam is the same. It's instead of quis with ali tacked on the front, it's quis with quam tacked on the back. It's quisquam, quiusquam, quiquam, quemquam, quoquam. Some of those are fun words to say. So this also means someone and anyone. And then the pronoun quisque means each one. So not does anyone know, but each of the participants was wearing a blue shirt. Quisque. Okay, so again, this is quis plus que tacked at the end. Any questions about those? Nope. Okay. Nathan, does that seem good?
Yeah, that seems good.
Okay. So, first of all, certain verbs in Latin are intransitive that govern the dative case. These verbs may be transitive and not in English. What does intransitive mean? Anyone know? What's a transitive verb? Okay, we said verbs could either be transitive, intransitive, or linking. Remember any of those phrases? No? Okay. Transitive means it takes a direct object. Intransitive means it doesn't take a direct object. And then a linking verb is like to be or to become. It takes a complement. So if it requires a dative, that's not a direct object because it's not an accusative case. So it is intransitive. What is a verb that takes a direct object? So like particle in Latin, you spare someone in the dative case. He spared his defeated enemies. Now that's a transitive verb in English. He spared the direct object, his defeated enemies. In Latin, it takes a dative. There's no direct object. So it's an intransitive verb with the dative case. You are believing to someone in Latin. You believe someone in the dative case. You don't say credite me, believe me, but credite mihi, be believing to me, or something like that. Although in English it's a transitive verb, believe me. Does that make sense, how these verbs, although in English are transitive, in Latin are intransitive?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yeah. I guess my only question is like the ones that are transitive in English and intransitive in Latin.
Mhm.
Is there like any signal for us to know that translating, or is it just like remembering, or?
Yeah, you just have to memorize. If you look on
Okay.
page 219,
Okay.
it tells you some of the more common verbs that take a dative.
Mhm.
So credo, I believe; phileo, I favor; gnosco, I forgive; impero, I command,
Mhm.
etc. And you just have to memorize these. There's no way to know.
Okay.
Okay, so amicis favebamus, we were favoring our friends. Bella et puer parentibus parent. Ooh, nice alliteration. The boy and girl obey their parents. Parce dominet populo tuo, Lord, spare your people. Something like be sparing to your people, but it's not how you say it in English. And then the dux militibus imperator, the general will command his soldiers. Okay. Nathan, does that seem good?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's fine so far. But what if we want to make them passive? This is for all intransitive verbs. First of all, backing up, how would you make a sentence with an active transitive verb become passive? If you had the sentence, can someone give me a sentence in English with a transitive active verb?
I am annoying to you.
Am is not transitive.
Oh.
That's a linking verb. We want it to take a direct object. We need to do something to something or someone.
Oh, transitive. I'm trying to think of like an intransitive verb.
Yeah.
I look at you. No.
Yeah, look at, we're using a preposition. So let's find one that we don't have to use a preposition just to keep it simple.
I see you.
I see you. Great.
Okay.
Okay, so how do you make that sentence passive? Meaning the same thing.
You have been seen by me.
You are seen by me. I see you. You are seen by me. So what did you do? How did you know?
Well, you flip the object and subject then.
Close. There's no object in the passive. There's no direct object in the passives. But close. You take the direct object and you do what with it?
Put it you put it at the end of the sentence in English, but I don't think word order matters like that in Latin.
Well, if you're changing. So I see you. What do you do with you?
Move it to the beginning.
To the beginning, which means make it a
Nominative.
subject. Yes. You are seen. So you take the direct object and make it the subject. And then what do you do with the word that had been the subject of the active form?
Ablative?
Yeah, you make it the agent. Okay, so here's an example. Quella nawem videt. Corey, what does that mean?
Um, uh, oh, sorry. Let's see, that would be the girl.
Mm-hmm.
You, or I'm sorry. So it saw, or she saw the
Or
girl.
the girl sees. We're looking at
The
Quella
girl sees
nawem. The
a
girl,
ship.
yeah, the girl sees a ship. Okay, and then the passive form is nawis aquella videtur. So what did we do?
So the ship is seen by the girl.
Right. So how did I go from Quella nawem videt to nawis aquella videtur? How did I know which case to put what in?
Um, well, the ship becomes instead of being in the accusative, the direct object, it becomes the subject, navis,
Good.
and
Good.
then the girl becomes instead of being nominative, it becomes ablative,
Mm-hmm.
and then the action becomes passive.
Great. Okay. Is everyone tracking so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So the direct object of the active verb becomes the subject of the passive verb. And the subject of the active verb becomes the agent or instrument. So what would happen with this sentence? Nathan, can you translate that?
Yeah. Let's see. The ship takes.
Yeah, was holding.
Oh yeah, the ship was holding. Earns.
Mhm.
We need wind. Something with wind.
No, ventus is wind.
Oh.
Vino, what's vino? If you go to Italy,
Wine.
aqua,
Oh.
wine.
So earns of wine.
Yes. Yes. Urns of wine. Good. Okay, so how would you make that passive?
It would be. Let's see.
I'm not actually asking you to do it, but just what would you
Yeah.
do?
Ships of wine were taken. Urns of wine were taken by the ship.
Okay, so you would take the direct object,
Yeah.
which is
Urns.
urnas,
Yeah.
and make it
The nominative.
the subject, of the passive verb. Urns were being held, and urns of wine were being held, and then by the ship.
And that would be ablative. So that would be.
Not an object.
What?
It's not a direct object. It's not receiving the action. What is it?
I thought it would be ablative, isn't it?
It would be ablative, yeah.
That would be the indirect object.
Nope, that's dative.
I know it'd be ablative. That's all.
Yeah, and so it's the ablative of instrument.
Instrument.
Or
okay.
If you're thinking about if you're personifying the ship, but let's not. It would be agent, but yeah, instrument. It's explaining by what or by whom.
Okay. So that's not an object or an indirect object. Then it's just an ablative of instrument. I guess. Okay.
Can there be a direct object with a passive verb?
No.
No, that's illogical. Why is it illogical?
Because just is. Doesn't make sense.
Can anyone explain why it wouldn't make sense? What does an direct object tell you?
What's being done to it?
Yeah, what received the action of an active voice?
It's not receiving any action.
What receives the action in a passive voice? Oh,
okay.
What?
The the urns are receiving the action.
The subject, yes. The subject of a passive voice is the thing that received the action,
Okay.
right? If we think about it with more concrete things, the barber cut the hair. The hair was cut by the barber. What received the action? The hair, right? In both instances. With an active, that means it has to be the direct object. With the passive, it means it has to be the subject. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyone, well, what an Irene now I can they bound to her. The urns of wine were being held by the ship. Rachel, would you translate this?
Okay. All of
So what's source, sortis?
um
I actually don't know if you know this. Check. Yeah, unit 12 you learned it.
okay. So it's in the subject. So all of the destiny, and then terut is not tereo.
It is tereo.
Okay. Oh, but so teru
Yep, teruit.
teruit. Okay.
Mhm.
So teru. So all the she was scaring.
Yeah, he or she or it terrified. What case is source? If it's source, sortis.
Nominative singular.
Yes. How about omnes?
Not nominative singular. So
Not
Ness
nominative.
is plural, nominative, plural,
Mhm.
or accusative plural.
Right.
Okay, so the destiny scared everybody.
Body.
Everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone. Yep. So destiny frightened everyone. Can you say that make it passive in English?
So everyone was frightened by destiny.
Destiny. And can we make it passive in Latin together? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So omnis was accusative and it moves to nominative.
Good.
So omnis.
Yeah, omnes, it looks the same actually.
Does it look the same?
Mhm.
I thought it was is and the nominative singular
No,
accusative.
long is could be the accusative plural. It's an alternative form, but omnes, long es.
Oh, accusative. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I was thinking. Wait. Oh, plural. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Omnes
thinking
would be
singular. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I see
Okay,
that.
so omnes, everybody, was terrified. What do we want? What form of verb?
Passive.
Passive.
Yeah, what? Okay. What person?
Third person plural.
Third person, plural. Tense.
Perfect.
Perfect. Passive, as you said. What
Okay.
mood?
So would it be
Okay, indicative.
would it be terui sint?
Teriti sunt.
Oh, teriti. Oh, yeah, cause yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that is.
And then sorte would be the ablative. Omnes sorte teriti sunt. Everybody
Okay.
was frightened. Teriti sunt.
Okay.
All the peoples were terrified, but we see everybody was terrified. Sorte by foot. Destiny. Okay. Do you have questions so far? Because you have to be very confident about this before I can show you the next slide.
Oh no, does that mean it's scary?
Well, I mean, I get it in like the English sense, but like I still just need to keep memorized. I just need to remember
Yeah.
the verb conjugation. But I mean, I get it.
Okay. Corey, how are you feeling?
So good so far.
Okay, great. So, how does a sentence with an active intransitive verb become passive? Oh,
Good
because
question.
we can't take. What can't we do?
Make it passive. Or
Well, I mean, we can
Sorry.
theoretically take park it and make it passive, right? Park it.
that there's no
There's
direct object.
No direct
Yes.
object.
There's no direct object to make the subject. Okay, so we can't have a subject, but we can still make it passive. What we can do is make it an impersonal passive. We say you have to keep hostibus, the dative of reference, in the dative, and then we take the subject and make it the agent, but we don't have a direct object to make a subject, so we have to make it impersonal, lacking a subject. And so hostibus adduce parcitur, if we're going to translate this into literal English, is there was a sparing to the enemies by the general. There is a sparing.
Can you say that again?
Yeah. Okay, so the active means in unidiomatic English, the general spares to the enemy. Right? Although in English you spare someone as a direct object, in Latin you don't. So the general is sparing to the enemy. And so the passive becomes there is a sparing by the general to the enemy. Nathan, do you follow that?
No, say it again.
No. Okay, so parcitur doesn't have a subject. It's not he is spared, because he would have had to have been the direct object of
Right.
the active form. So it is sparing, or there is a sparing. There's no subject there. There's no personal subject. Just there is a verbing. Verbing happens, and then by the general, the subject of the active form becomes the agent. And then the dative of reference, hostibus, stays the same.
Okay.
So the subject becomes the agent, the dative of reference remains the same, and the passive verb lacks a personal subject. Okay, so what does this mean? This sentence mean? Rachel, can you take a stab at that?
Let's see. Okay. Non-credeo. He's not. Or, sorry.
Yeah.
You are not.
No, he. Yes, non credit. Or just translate it. Don't make it passive. Yeah.
He is not. Lacking to you?
Yes. Credo means to believe. So, literally.
Oh, he's not believing you.
Yeah, it's future. So he will not believe you. But that sounds, we want to be very ugly right now, and reflect the dative. So he is not believing to you.
Okay.
He does not put his trust in you, maybe. He will not put his trust in you.
Okay.
Corey, could you take a stab at making that, in English, passive?
Yeah. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, so, mm, interesting. This is weird.
Yes, it's horribly weird. We never use the because we're doing something in English that we don't have to do because all of these intransitives are actually transitive in English. So
would it be you are not trusting to him?
no, because that's active still. In English, in idiomatic English, it means you will not be believed by him. But that is because it's a transitive verb in English. In Latin, we can't make you the subject. So we're going to have to say,
Would it be there is not believing by him to you?
exactly.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. By him to you, there will not be believing.
Okay.
And there will not be putting trust in you by him. Is what the Latin is doing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
prettier way to translate that,
Mm-hmm.
like
yeah.
in English,
Yeah.
what would be
You
the
would never say
difference?
that. That would never say that.
But I mean, like if I am translating from Latin to English, and I run into that sentence, and then I also run into the sentence above, how would they look different translated? Or do you want us to translate them like very literal?
The sentence above, what do you mean?
The hostibus duce.
Well, since in English they're transitive verbs, you can just say the enemies were spared by the general.
Okay.
You can actually make a passive, a personal passive construction. You will not be believed by him.
Or,
now we don't even like passive, so we might actually even make it active, but for now.
Or I'm sorry, I think I referenced the wrong sentence. I guess I'm comparing to like I understand like how the active and the passive in Latin are constructed differently. But we in English wouldn't ever say the passive direct translation. So like we wouldn't say there is a sparing by the general to the enemy. So like if we're translating from Latin to English, like for homework, would we put it in that like there is a sparing by the general to the enemy, or would you want us to translate it like prettier?
At this point, I want it to be ugly.
Okay.
But this is what I did always when I was a student. Is I would write the literal translation and then put in parentheses my best shot at something that was good English. Because sometimes you have to really mess around with stuff to get good English. But as a teacher, if I see something that's messed up, I don't know, does this person really understand both Latin and English and are really good at translating? Or have they just looked at the words and said, I have no idea what this means, but I'm going to make up something that makes sense with sort of the meanings of these words that I sort of know. And I can't tell that unless you indicate that to me.
Okay.
Yeah. But for your next classes, I would ask the teachers what they prefer, because some people really like that, and some people are like, no, translate it into English, not bad English, blah, blah, blah. So it depends on the teacher. So, suaviter canebamus. Corey, could you translate that?
Suaviter canebamus. So, we were lacking.
Careo is to lack. Cano canere. A cantor is a
singer, chanter.
A singer, yes. It's just sing.
So we were singing.
Yeah. And then swawiter?
Uh, I'm not sure what that word is.
Anyone know swawiter? Swawis, swallow. It's just shampoo company. Suave.
Oh, suave. We were
Suavely.
singing suavely,
Smooth,
It means
like
actually
smoothly.
smoothly, yeah, or sweetly, but smoothly, yeah. Pleasantly, yeah, smoothly, and singing is agreeably or something. Yeah, so we were singing pleasantly. So how would you make that passive in English? Corey.
Yeah. The. Oh, I'm sorry. In English, would be
Yeah.
our singing was sweet.
No, you just made that use a linking verb. Our singing made it a noun. I need a passive. So not we were singing, but start there.
There was.
There was.
I'm not sure.
There was singing. There was singing.
There's sweet singing by us.
There was sweetly singing. There was, yes. There was singing by us sweetly, pleasantly. Yes.
Okay.
Kanebantur. There was singing by us. And then it was sweetly. Okay. This is horrible to you, right? You're like, why would anyone ever want to say that? Right?
it's
I mean,
so
Yeah, this is
mathematical.
absolutely horrible.
Yeah. But you do actually want to be able to have, Latin does actually want to have intransitive verbs in the passive. Because, let's say we can say, okay, the two armies were fighting. Pugna bant exercitus duo. But what if we don't know exactly who was fighting? All we want to say is fighting happened. You could say erat and then a noun, but nouns are weak and pitiful. I mean, at least compared to verbs. Verbs are the strongest words you can get, and Latin likes strong words. So you can just take that intransitive verb and make it passive, and then leave out the agent. So instead of there was fighting by the two armies, you could just say there was fighting. Pugnabatur. Pugnabatur. And there you got a really concise, strong sentence. Which may not, it doesn't sound strong in English because there was isn't particularly strong, but pugnabatur is strong and nice in Latin. And so that's why we have it. Is that okay-ish?
Not really. I don't
Say
really.
that again?
I don't really get it, to be honest.
You don't get it at all.
No.
I mean, I think I get it, but when I try to do it, it feels like a Zen koan, and there's just like no answer for me.
Okay.
I've yet to reach enlightenment.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Could you explain it one more time?
Yeah. Okay. Look at page 219.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, tibi parco, I am sparing to you. Right? To make that passive, you have to say there is a sparing. Sparing happens to you by me. So you take the parco You take the subject, I, and make it the agent. But there's no direct object, so you can't make that the subject. So you have to have an impersonal, just stating a verbing happened. Action happened
Okay.
to you by me. And the action was to spare. Um,
So
Okay.
the prettier English translation is the "you are spared by me."
right, because to spare is a transitive verb in English, so we don't have to do this impersonal business.
Yes.
Now look down at the bottom. Domi punyantur. Now you could say they fight at home. Domi punant. But let's say we don't know who they are. So all we want to say is people are fighting at home. Right? Fighting is happening at home. We don't really know who's fighting. Maybe it's our neighbors. We hear people shouting. We don't know who it is, but we want to say the action is happening, although we don't know who did it. So we can make it passive and leave out the agent. Punyatur, there is fighting. Action is happening. The action to fight is happening. And you could add an agent by our neighbors, by the people in the house next door, by whatever. But you can also leave it out. Of course, you can always leave out the agent with a passive. And so, domi punyantur just tells you action is happening. Punyantur, there is fighting happening. And then we add in domi at home. Now, you want to know what the prettier translation is? Well, in English, the prettier translation is to use a noun. Because English really likes nouns. Latin doesn't really like nouns. Latin really, really, really likes verbs. So Latin says there is fighting. Fighting is happening. English says a battle is being fought. And this is one difference that's really, really striking. I mean, Latin likes passive way more than English does, right? It enjoys impersonal passives. Impersonal passives are ridiculous and ugly in English. But they're nice and strong and effective in Latin. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard, is because it sounds like horrible English. Right? It is being fought at home. If someone told you that, you'd say, that's not even correct English. Well, it is, but it's just very idiomatic.
Okay.
Nathan,
that helps.
is that a little helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little.
Little.
This is rough. I'm not going to deny it. But you will see it a lot. For example, if Caesar's reporting a battle, he's going to tell you there was fierce fighting, right? And he doesn't say erat fierce fighting, an adjective and a noun. He says it was fought fiercely. He uses the impersonal verb and then an adverb. English would say a message was brought to the general. Latin says it was announced to the general. There was an announcing to the general. It uses a verb and then an impersonal verb. People hate the senators, right? English says people, and we're just like, somebody we don't really know, just people, they. Latin says there was a hating of the senators. If it doesn't know who did it, you don't say people. You don't say populus or something. You just say hating was happening. And you just leave out the agent if you don't know.
Okay.
It's very different. and what we do.
That kind of makes sense because like a lot of the stuff we've kind of been doing is there's like in parentheses like the implied noun or like adjective used substantively, like there isn't necessarily a noun, like unless the noun is very specific. I guess like Latin doesn't use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the hierarchy of words, verbs are definitely at the top. And then I think probably noun, adjective, adverb, pronoun, something like that. I mean, nouns aren't at the bottom of the list, but verbs are far and above, light years ahead of anything else in Latin.
Okay.
No preference for this. Okay. And then the last topic,
Is it
The
kind of
verb
like
feel-
Semitic languages in that respect? Because I know Semitic languages are usually like verb-centered, action-centered.
I don't know because I've never studied a Semitic language, but if what you say is true, then yes.
Okay, yeah. Because I've done some
If Semitic
Syriac
language,
Hebrew, and
okay.
it's different in that respect.
Yes. Then Latin is very much verb-centered. Verb-centric. Then the verb theo means to become. That's good to know. And the numerical adjective duo means two. And I don't create a slide for this because it's really, there's no point. But look on page 221 with me. What do you notice about the declension of two? We have masculine, feminine, and neuter.
It's like a 2-1-2.
Plural two.
It's a 2-1-2. Yep.
Almost.
What did you say? Rachel, before you said 2-1-2, you said something else.
Plural. 2 and 2.
Plural,
Yeah.
right? And you know why it is plural?
Because 2 is more than 1.
Yes. All right. So sometimes you have these moments. You're like, but where's the singular of 2? Oh no, 1 minute. That makes no sense.
That would be 1.
If it's 2, then it's not singular. Okay. Good. Ah. And then
Genius.
ambo actually means both, and that it uses the same. Now, do you need to memorize these? No. Nope. Because if you see duobus, you're gonna know, right? That's ablative or dative. I don't need you to memorize these. But might as well just read through them once and recognize that there are these declensions for the number 2. And then check out 224. This is great. So here are a bunch of adverbs to talk about place. So the first ones are interrogative. Where are you? Ubies. Quo. Whither are you going? Where are you going? Quo vadis. To where are you going? Unde. From where or whence? Unde vadis. From where are you coming? Now, we would say, where are you going? Where are you coming from? But to use our somewhat archaic, very archaic, we would say where, whither, and whence for our interrogatives. Where, location, to where, motion towards, whence, motion from. So then the demonstratives from this, meaning here, Nathan, do you know what they would be in our archaic forms? Hic means here I am. Huc means I'm going to here, or I'm going You know
So
that?
I don't
Hither?
understand.
No. I'm going hence.
Oh, hence.
I'm going hither, and then I'm coming hence from here. And
Okay.
then there, thither, and thence.
That one I've actually never heard before.
Really?
Like, I mean, there, yes, but thither.
Thither?
Then again, I'm
Yeah,
not
I-
very well read in things written in Old English, so
Maybe you need to go to more Shakespeare.
that is probably true.
Okay. So we have to say to there and from there because thither and thence, yes, that is beyond the pale. But it's good to know to see the relationships of all of these interrogative and demonstrative. So ibi there, eo there, to there, inde from there. And you can say hik, hook, and hink are related to hike, hok. Ilik, iluk, ilink are related to ila, ila, ilud. And ibi, eo, inde are related to is, ea, id. So, line those up and study. Okay. Let's look at drill number 2, sentence number 2. Nathan?
So like another order?
Number
Oh,
two?
drill number 2?
Drill number 2.
Sorry, I was looking at drill number 1.
I was no,
I was looking at drill.
I don't
Sorry.
see where you're getting that.
Okay. In foro clamatur. What's I don't know if for foro is. I know clamatur is.
A forum is a forum.
Yeah, okay, an open area.
Market.
Area, open
Whatever.
space.
You can just say forum if you want. It's like piazza in modern.
Yeah.
Italy.
They
You don't have
shouted.
in America.
No, right. Or he, she, it shouted in an open space.
Okay, so it's present.
Wait, yeah, hold on.
So clamat would be he is shouting. Clamatur, what is that?
He was shouted at. I don't know.
So this is an intransitive. So he was shouting in the form, in foro clamat. He was shouting in the form.
Right.
Clamatur.
There was shouting in
Exactly.
the forum.
There was shouting in the forum. Clamatur.
I just don't get how. So then, why? That doesn't denote case though. It doesn't matter if it's first person, second person, because there was shouting. Like that's not he, she, or you, or I.
Right. So it's impersonal, meaning there's no personal subject. There is third person and singular. So we use the third person singular for the impersonal because shouting is an action and it must be singular, and it's certainly not me or you. So it's got to be it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's how we pick the third person singular for the impersonal. All impersonals are third person singular. That's a good point, right?
Yeah.
Only third person singular is ever used for the impersonal, because if it's impersonal, then it really means the action is both the subject and the object. And if it's an action, it's got to be, there's only one action. And it's got to be third person.
Okay.
Corey, will you take number 3?
Yeah. Second. Okay, so Impera Vimus is so there's 2 clauses here, right?
Okay.
And the first one is, our main verb is imper avimus. So that would be plural, first person. Okay, so we will order.
It's impero, imperare, imperavi, imperatus. So imperavimus is it's perfect.
Present. Oh, perfect. Okay. Oh, yeah. Avi. Okay. Avi.
Yeah.
So we had ordered, or we ordered.
We ordered.
We ordered. What is wobis?
Vos, vestri, vobis, vos, vobis.
Oh, yeah. We ordered to them, or we ordered them.
You.
Oh, yeah. You. Yeah. So we order you.
Yeah.
We
ordered you. Yeah, and in Latin says we ordered to you, but because it's an intransitive verb in Latin. But in English, you may make it transitive.
Okay, so we ordered you. Not to command.
Post pono.
Post ponatis
is actually pono plus post.
I forget pono. Is that?
Anyone?
It's a first declension. It's
no, pono, ponere.
Or first conjugation.
Third conjugation. Anyone?
To put, to place.
Yes, to put to place. So to put post.
Before.
What is post?
Actually, to put after.
After. Yeah.
So
we ordered you, ne, to put something after something else in the dative.
To put love? No.
You have to put something in the accusative case.
Yeah, the accusative case would be the usa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the command.
Yes. Not to put commands.
Not to place them after love.
Yes. All right. So don't prioritize love above commands.
Okay.
We ordered you not to. I don't know if we have an opposite of if you prioritize something. I don't know if you can post iorize something, do something else. Can't really do that, but not to put orders or second to love, maybe. So I'm not going to make you do this, but if I were to say, make this main clause passive instead of active, what would you have to do?
Well, will we just be doing the second clause, or the
I
whole
said just
sentence?
the first clause.
Oh, the
Just
first
the first
clause.
clause.
Sorry. So the would Wobies become the subject?
Replaces Wobies?
Well, it's dative, right?
Yeah. So
So I mean, it just stays dative.
it just stays dative, and then the verb becomes
Okay. The verb becomes passive. So we had ordered, but we had been
so
ordered.
instead of we ordered.
So
Instead
there
of
was
we ordered to you, we gave an order to you. You're going to say there was
an ordering
an ordering to you.
to you by us.
Exactly.
So okay, so that would be ablative.
Yes,
Okay.
ablative of agent. Nobis.
Okay. I was thinking maybe they were both dative for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm used
For
to
some reason, because this
dative
is
of
extremely confusing.
Yeah.
Dative of ablative of agent is much more common. Dative of agent is the exception.
Okay.
Just like in Greek, you have normally a genitive of agent, people plus the genitive, and then the dative of agent is only an exception. So I told you the verb theo, fieri, factu sum means to become. And it functions like an I stem third conjugation. So, Rachel, can you take number 5?
Okay. So irafet ruina nostrorum bonorum. So if it functions like an I stem third conjugation, would that put that in the fit in perfect?
No, it's factus S would be perfect.
Okay.
This is just the present indicator.
Oh, okay. So he is becoming
Ira is becoming.
Ira is becoming. Oh shit. There's so many short little I words. But is that like a name?
It's a noun.
A noun. Okay.
You know, ire.
No.
Do you know the dies irae? Very famous work, Mozart's dies irae is the most famous.
Okay.
Day of wrath. Ira wrath.
Okay. So
So ira fit.
He becomes. Then ira is the noun. So wrath becomes, and then you becomes because ruina is ablative, singular.
It's nominative. Oh, ruina is. I was here.
Okay. So
Yes. So ira becomes or ira happens. We could also say.
Happens to. Then that's a genitive. Happens to.
Happens with the ruin. Yes. Nostrorum bonorum.
The ruin of of our good.
Yes, goods.
Okay.
Yes.
Our goods, yes.
Okay. Um, this is a little phrase. Lux fiat et lux fit. So what's fiat?
To decree?
Is it,
No.
is it to
It
do?
is
Oh,
fio fieri,
to do.
to become.
Or to become?
So fiat, if it's the present stem f plus ia plus t, and I told you it's a third io.
Oh, I see.
What form is that?
Present.
Subjunctive.
Present subjunctive. So lux fiat. You know, lux meaning
Let light be.
Light.
let light
Let light
be.
become.
Let light come into existence et lux fit.
And light was.
And light comes into existence. So this is from
Alright.
the Vulgate of Genesis. God said, "Let there be light," I think is a common English translation, but in Latin, "Let light become." In the Annunciation scene in Luke or something, Gabriel tells Mary, "You will have to bear a son," blah blah blah, and Mary says, "Fiat mihi secundum verbum tuum," which means fiat.
Let it be
Let it be, let it become, let it be made, let it happen
to me.
to me. Secundum means according to verbum tuum,
Your word.
your word. So sometimes if you're reading theology, they'll say, well, of course, and Mary's fiat, right, which does not mean her vehicle, but it means her stating fiat mihi secundum verbum tuum, right, her assent, whatever. But we talk about the fiat. Which, is also where you get the car, but let it be fiat. Good.
So, is there a poem you wanted us to go over? It's kind of late, but
Say that again? Yeah,
Wasn't
no,
there a poem?
I was thinking tomorrow.
oh,
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I think
Okay.
it's gonna have to be tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you though for reminding me. It's too glorious a poem to just breeze through. So, and there you will learn the Latin for YOLO.
Nice.
Which maybe you can guess. I don't know. Does anyone know what that is? There's actually a T-shirt, I think. It says
What YOLO is,
Yeah.
or what the Latin
what
is?
the Latin is.
Okay.
Well, you'll see.
I live by that T-shirt.
All right. So tomorrow's quiz, synopsis.
Synopsis.
Don't do exercise 2. So just drill those third and fourth conjugations like there's no tomorrow, except like there is tomorrow and you have to take the quiz tomorrow. And then figure out what you want to review tomorrow, because we can poems all day, but if there are things that you need to review, much better. It's much better use of our time to spend it doing those things than what anything's.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Sounds good.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
That's
Thank you.
all.